Whether you're the king of a castle, the queen of England, or just trying to get through your next research paper, one thing is for sure, learning isn't always easy. In fact, it can feel like an uphill climb or a race to the finish, especially if you compare yourself to others. In college, while we don't recommend the focus of comparing yourself to others, we do recommend that you equip yourself with the tools you need to get more out of the learning process and the most out of your learning journey. And in this video, we're going to talk about 2 different dynamic duos you can use to boost your learning skills and how you may be more like royalty than you realize. Ready? Let's go. Dynamic duo number 1, originality and validity. College welcomes both originality and validity, and it is super important for you to develop both in your learning journey. Let's talk originality. Originality is your own original thoughts and input. It is not taking someone else's unique thought and running with it. Instead, it requires you to think for yourself. Let's think of Bob. Bob is a parroting bird. Bob's owner, Ray, broke up with his girlfriend, Stella, and is now dating Janice. Bob repeats what he hears, so for the next 3 weeks he will be calling Janice by the name of Stella, which makes life harder for Ray. Bob lacks originality. Originality is important for learning because it means that instead of acting like a parrot, simply repeating what you hear, like Bob who can't stop saying Stella's name when Janice is around, instead of always parroting information you hear, you can use originality to pioneer more of your own thoughts and to think for yourself. Now, originality would not be complete without validity. Validity means you do the work to back up your originality with evidence. That out of the hundreds of students a teacher or professor can see in a year, you don't just say what has already been said 1,000,000 times by other people, but you use validity to take an original thought that you have and to back it up with supporting evidence. Scholarly information, research, academic databases, statistics, graphs, charts, and other forms of data can all help you establish validity. This duo, originality and validity, can help you back up an original thought you have with supporting evidence to reinforce your point. This lays a foundation for good, solid reasoning and makes you less like Bob. Keep in mind, it takes 2, the duo of both originality and validity, to cultivate a solid and fresh perspective on the information you are learning. To get where we are going next, we must look at the work of Roger Ascham. He was a tutor and educator in the 16th century whose students included Princess Elizabeth, aka the future Queen Elizabeth I. And yes, he taught a queen of a legit kingdom. Ascham pioneered various teaching methods and often put his students into 2 different categories. Now note, these categories weren't based on what they looked like or where they came from, but they were based on a student's learning process. Here are the 2 categories, quick-witted and hard-witted. Let's talk about quick-witted. These are the people who learn, you guessed it, very quick. They are often seen as the super smart or talented people in the room because they can pick up new information very quickly and run with it. These are the kind of people who can barely study and then cram for a test like no one's business. Or they learn a new concept a professor or a teacher provides on the first try, only to be bored out of their mind waiting for the rest of the class to catch up. The quick-witted can come in all different sizes, shapes, and backgrounds, but one thing is for sure, they make learning look easy. Quick-witted can appear fast off the starting line and miles down the road before others are finished getting on their shoes. Now, the second category in this duo is hard-witted. These are the people who are often slower to pick up new information before they move forward. When compared to their peers, they do not appear to make as much progress as quick-witted learners do, even when given the same time frame. If you've ever been in the classroom with other students before, then you know what I mean when I say that some students seem to get the information at lightning speed, while others, well, it takes longer. sometimes much longer. But before you go calling them slow or not that smart, let's think of the tortoise and the hare. No, not that hare, that hare. If you're familiar with the story, then you know that after the hare irritates the tortoise challenges the hare to a race. I'm going to go ahead and refer to the tortoise in this story as the more common term of turtle now, and according to the story, the hare accepts the challenge and races way ahead of the slower moving turtle. Halfway through the race, the hare stops and takes a nap, and spoiler alert, the turtle then wins the race. Notice that in this story, however, the hare runs forward quickly and keeps going, while it seems to take the turtle a lot longer. At a glance, we can be tempted to think the hare was better than the turtle because he was faster. If he just hadn't taken that nap, though. And in terms of quick-witted versus hard-witted, we can be tempted to see people who are quick to learn and pick up new information as better than, aka faster than, hard-witted learners who take longer to learn new things. But instead of looking at this like fast versus slow or even smart versus not as smart, Roger Ascham looked at learning from a completely different view. In fact, Ascham often spoke more highly of the hard-witted students instead of the quick-witted ones. Now the question is, why? Why would an educator with brilliance like Ascham, who taught many people including Queen Elizabeth I, totally brag on students who took longer to learn new things? And this is the key difference between quick-witted and hard-witted. The quick-witted students were able to pick up new information more quickly and run with it, but they were also the same students who were quick to forget the same information a whole lot sooner. The hard-witted students, the ones he spoke so highly of, took longer to understand or learn something new, but they were the same ones to etch the information in stone. They chiseled it down with intentional work and effort, and then they were able to remember it 3 months, 6 months, or even longer down the road. This is the difference between cramming for a test in the moment and remembering that same information months or even years afterward. Have you ever met someone who graduates from school or college only to say they don't remember anything that they learned? Chances are they were out practicing the hard-witted learning process. This discovery by Roger Ascham lends credence to hard work and effort. In fact, I would challenge you, refuse to be afraid of hard work or effort. If you put the hard work and effort in, you'll remember things better than those who are quick-witted, and you will remember the things you learn much longer. And while it's true that when you do this, when you choose to be hard-witted and to put the effort in, you may end up feeling more like a turtley tortoise than a hare from time to time. But by not giving up, you are also guaranteed to become more like royalty and less like Bob. And that wraps up our duos, originality and validity, as well as quick-witted and hard-witted. You can use each of these dynamic duos to help you maximize your grade and get the most out of your college learning journey. And you can take these duos anywhere else you need to learn new information or think for yourself. If you like this video or learned something new, hit the like button or subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.